Have you ever been told, if you want to sound fluent in English, you need to speak faster? Maybe a friend said it, maybe a teacher hinted at it, or maybe you just believed it because that's how native speakers sound in movies. So you tried. You pushed every word out at lightning speed, hoping it would make you sound better. But instead, something strange happened. People kept saying, "Sorry, what?" And here's the truth. Speaking faster doesn't make you fluent. In fact, it might be the biggest reason you're not improving. Picture this. Two people are telling you the same story. One talks quickly, rushing through every sentence, barely letting you breathe. The other speaks at a calm, steady pace. You hear every word. You feel the emotion. Which one do you remember more? Which one do you actually understand? It's not about speed. It's about clarity. And the fastest way to get clarity is to slow down. Here's the problem. So many English learners think fast equals fluent. They watch Netflix without subtitles at full speed. They try to match native speakers word for word. And when it's their turn to talk, it's like they're in a race, rushing to reach the finish line. But when you rush, your brain is fighting two battles. It's trying to think of the right words and push them out before you're ready. What happens? Your sentences get messy. Grammar slips away. Words get stuck. Your pronunciation turns into a blur, and the person listening to you, they have to work extra hard just to keep up. And sometimes they can't keep up at all. It's not just speaking. Listening to English too quickly can be just as dangerous for your learning. When everything is fast, your brain starts skipping tiny words, the ones that change everything. Think about it. Missing just one was or have or just can flip the meaning of an entire sentence. And it's not just about words. You miss tone. You miss emotion. It's like reading a text message without emojis. You think you understand, but maybe you don't. And that's the thing. Language is not just vocabulary and grammar. It's connection. It's how you make people feel. If they can't catch your words, they can't connect with you. If you can't hear the feeling in their voice, you can't fully understand them. So, what if instead of speeding up, you tried something completely different? What if you gave your words space to breathe and your brain time to think? Because once you slow down, everything changes. The moment you slow down, something almost magical happens. Your brain stops rushing. It has the space to choose the right words. It notices the tiny details you used to miss, the way certain words connect, the little rises and falls in someone's voice, the feeling behind a sentence. And here's the surprise. When you speak slower, people understand you more, not less. They hear you clearly. They actually enjoy listening. Clear English is the kind of English people remember. And here's something nobody tells you. Slowing down doesn't just make you sound clear. It makes you sound confident. Think about the last time you felt nervous speaking English. Did you speed up, hoping to get it over with? That's what most people do. But confident speakers, they take their time. They pause. They make you wait for the next word. And you listen, because their words feel important. Watch any great speaker, a teacher, a storyteller, a leader. They don't rush. They let silence work for them. They give you space to process, to react, to feel. Now, you might be thinking, but won't slowing down make me sound boring? Not at all. Slowing down isn't about losing energy. It's about controlling it. You can still sound excited. You can still sound passionate. The difference is, your energy becomes focused. Every word hits with more impact. This is what I call mindful English. Mindful, meaning your attention is fully here, in this moment, not worrying about the mistake you made 5 seconds ago, not thinking about what you'll say 2 minutes from now, just here. You're listening with full focus. You're speaking with intention. You're giving each sound, each word, each meaning your attention instead of rushing past them. When you're mindful, you're not just making noise, you're communicating. Your words land exactly how you want them to. You avoid the sloppy mistakes that come from speed, and you start to feel, maybe for the first time, that English isn't a battle you have to win. It's a conversation you can enjoy. So, how do you actually do this? How do you take mindful from an idea to something you use every single day? Let's break it down. First, slow listening. Find something short, a podcast, a short video clip, even a movie scene, about 1 to 2 minutes long. Listen to it at normal speed once. Just enjoy it, don't stress. Then, listen again. This time, slower. Not so slow that it feels unnatural, just enough for you to catch every single detail. As you listen, look for the invisible words, the ones you usually skip past. Words like was, have, just, even, though. They may be tiny, but they change the meaning completely. And then listen for connection. Hear how going to melts into gonna, how want to becomes wanna. Notice the emotion in the voice, the smile you can hear without seeing their face, or the pause that makes you lean in. Because when you train your ear for detail, you stop just hearing English and start feeling it. Next, slow repeating, also known as shadowing. Here's how it works. Take that same clip you just listened to and play it again. But this time, you repeat every sentence out loud right after the speaker. And here's the secret. Don't rush to match their speed. Match their rhythm. Match their tone. Match their pauses. Think of it like you're an actor in a movie, stepping into the exact role of the person speaking. Their voice is your script. Their timing is your timing. If they pause for a breath, you pause too. If their voice rises in excitement, yours does too. You're not just copying words. You're copying the music of the language. And the more you do this, the more your English starts to sound alive, natural, smooth, and full of personality. Then there's pausing before speaking. This one sounds simple, but it changes everything. Imagine this. Someone asks you, "What did you do yesterday?" Most learners panic and answer instantly, even if they're not ready. And that's when mistakes happen. Instead, try this. Take a breath. Let the question land. Then say, "Yesterday, I went to the park with my friend." That one little moment of silence, it gives your brain the space to find the right words. It gives your mouth the chance to pronounce them clearly. And it makes you sound calm, confident, and in control. Here's the next step. Speak for the listener. What does that mean? It means every time you talk, you're not just thinking about what you want to say. You're thinking about how the other person will hear it. Picture it like this. You're not throwing words at them. You're building a path for them to walk on. If you go too fast, they trip. If your pronunciation is unclear, they get lost. So instead, use pauses. Shape your sentences so they're easy to follow. Imagine you're handing them each word like a small gift, clear, complete, ready to understand. Because when your listener feels comfortable, the conversation flows. And finally, reflect. After you finish a conversation, take a short moment to think, what worked? Did you notice a word you've never heard before? Was there a moment where slowing down helped you say something perfectly? Or maybe a point where you still rushed? This isn't about judging yourself. It's about noticing, because the more you notice, the faster you improve. Now here's the challenge. At first, slowing down will feel strange. If you've been speaking fast for years, you might feel like you're dragging every word. But remember, that's just your old habit talking. The more you practice slow listening, slow repeating, pausing before you speak, speaking for the listener, and reflecting after, the more natural it becomes. And one day, without even thinking, you'll just do it. It won't feel like slowing down anymore. It'll just feel like speaking well. Here's the beautiful twist. When you first slow down, it feels like you're moving through water. Every step heavy, deliberate. But over time, the water clears. Your feet find their rhythm. And without forcing it, your speed returns. Only now, it's steady, controlled, and crystal clear. It's like learning to play the piano. At first, you hit each key slowly, making sure your fingers know exactly where to go. Then one day, your hands glide across the keyboard, fast and smooth, but without a single wrong note. This is the real secret. Fluency isn't about going fast all the time. It's about controlling your speed. You slow down when you need precision. You speed up when the moment calls for energy. You're no longer a passenger in your own sentence. You're the driver. And when you control the pace, you control the conversation. Think of your English like pouring a drink for someone. If you pour too fast, it spills. If you pour too slow, it feels awkward. But when you pour just right, the glass fills smoothly. The person smiles, and they enjoy every sip. That's what mindful speaking feels like, giving your listener exactly the right flow so they can savor every word. Imagine this. You're in a coffee shop. The barista asks, "What would you like today?" If you rush, it might sound like, "Can I get a medium latte with soy, please?" They frown. "Sorry, what?" Now picture saying it mindfully. "Can I get a medium latte with soy milk, please?" Each part is clear. No repeats. No awkward pause while they try to guess what you said. Sometimes slowing down isn't just about fluency. It's about getting your coffee exactly how you want it. Here's another one. You're meeting a new colleague at work. You say, "Hi, I'm Sarah. Nice to meet you. How was your weekend?" They catch maybe two words and just smile politely. Now, slow it down. "Hi, I'm Sarah. Nice to meet you. How was your weekend?" The difference? They hear all of it. They have time to respond. And you've started the conversation on the right foot. Or you're telling a story to a group of friends. You're excited, so you speak fast, skipping over half the details. By the end, they're nodding, but you can tell they didn't really follow. This time, you take a breath. You give each part of the story its moment. You let the funny details breathe. You pause before the punchline. And when you deliver it, everyone laughs. That's the power of pacing. It makes your story worth hearing. You're sitting across from an interviewer. They ask, "Tell me about yourself." Your heart is racing. You start, "Well, I graduated from university 3 years ago and I worked in a fast-paced team." They tilt their head, trying to catch every word. Now, imagine you pause, breathe, and say, "Well, I graduated from university 3 years ago and I worked in a fast-paced team." Same information, but this time they hear you, they feel you, and they see someone who's calm under pressure. The kind of person they want on their team. Picture standing in front of a room. Maybe it's a classroom. Maybe it's a business meeting. If you rush, your audience starts to drift. They glance at their phones. But when you slow down, your words have weight. You pause after key points. You give them time to absorb, to nod, to write something down. It's not about filling the silence. It's about letting the silence work for you. And here's a secret weapon. In negotiations, silence after your words can be just as powerful as the words themselves. You make your point, and wait. The other person feels the pause. They think harder about what you said. That's not just speaking English. That's using English to lead the conversation. You're on the phone, maybe booking a table at a restaurant. If you speak too fast, the person on the other end hears, "Yes, can I book table for 4 at 7 p.m. tonight?" They hesitate. "Sorry, could you repeat that?" Now slow it down. "Yes, Can I book a table for 4 people at 7 p.m. tonight? Clear, calm, no need to repeat. Even with background noise, they catch every word. Or you're in a group conversation with friends. Everyone's talking, laughing, sharing stories. If you jump in too quickly, your words might get buried under the noise. But when you slow down, your voice cuts through. You hold their attention. And when you pause before the important part, they lean in, waiting for what you'll say next. Here's a powerful one. Explaining something complex to someone whose English isn't strong. You could rush through and leave them confused. Or you could give each step, each detail, its own space. Like building a puzzle together, piece by piece, until the picture is clear. That's when slowing down isn't just about sounding better. It's about helping someone else understand. You're in a meeting. Someone suddenly asks you a tough question. Your instinct? Answer fast, so you don't look unsure. But that's exactly when mistakes happen. Instead, take a breath. Let the silence be your friend. Then speak, slowly, clearly, one thought at a time. You don't just answer, you take control of the room. In a heated discussion, speed can make things worse. Words come out before you think. Tones rise. But when you slow down, you choose your words with care. You keep your voice steady. And often, the other person will match your pace, calming the entire conversation. Maybe it's a language exam. Maybe it's a Q&A after a talk. When everyone's eyes are on you, your heart races. That's when slowing down turns pressure into presence. Each sentence you deliver feels deliberate, not rushed, and the person listening doesn't just hear your words, they trust them. Think of a great drummer in a band. They don't just keep time, they control the entire feel of the song. They can speed it up, slow it down, hold a beat just a moment longer, and everyone follows. When you speak mindfully, you become that drummer. Every conversation moves to your rhythm, and here's where it gets almost effortless. One day, you're mid-conversation, and you realize you're not even thinking about slowing down anymore. Your words just fit. Pauses land exactly where they should. Your listener nods, smiles, reacts naturally. You're not chasing fluency, you're living in it. It's like walking into a room full of noise and carrying your own calm. People don't just hear your English, they feel it, and they remember it.